see patient's last name and PO number and my name. Okay? And then I hit OK. And now it's anonymized. Okay? So, now, segment. You can segment, residents. Y'all are little geeks, little millennial geeks. Or generation whatever, Z, X. Okay? Little generation Zers. So y'all may want to sit there and segment, which means you draw around each tooth and you're saying this is 18, this is 20. Okay, because then you can remove, what you're doing is, then you can take in out 18 and put 18 back and move, put 20 there and take it. It's a new, I mean, you don't need it. Okay, so when I talk to Simplant, they say nobody does it except assistants that are really into it and they're doing it to show their doctor how smart they are, right? So that's good, right? Because assistants are really good at it. I don't segment unless I have to, which I don't have to usually. So I close that. I'm going to go straight to prepare for planning. This one's important. Prepare for planning, okay? And so what I've got to do is I've got to make sure that I'm looking at it in I'm looking at it accurately. So, did y'all see something open here? Oh, there it is. Okay. See, I need this. There. Okay. So, this is a big one, y'all, because let's say that root's kicked back. If you think about it, okay, here's this root, this canine. This happened not too long ago with the resident. The root was kicked like that. Okay. When we plan in Simplant, we're taking a knife and we're cutting through the ridge. And so it's really important. Think about the ridge, the dimension of the ridge. It's really important we're looking at the same dimension that we're going to be placing the fixture, okay? So, I want my Simplant lined up with that root. Now, in this case, it is. Do you see there's the root and there's my knife, but it's not quite. So, now I can't move the cast, I can move this line. So watch, I'm going to get it a little bit better. Do you see now how my green line is better situated with that root? Okay, the long axis of the root. That's really important. And it's important that if I took, okay, here's the jaw. And I'm going to put I'm planting my implant like this. Wait, residents, look at this. I'm planting my implant like this. I've got to make sure that I'm cutting through the ridge like this. But if my ridge is like that, you see how I'm getting bad data. It's going to say I have more bone height than what I really have, because I'm going to put the implant in like this, not like that. So I've got to make sure that I'm correctly positioned how my implant's going to go, okay? So does that all make sense? So that line needs to be parallel with my tooth. How my tooth's going to be. Questions about that? Now you may say I've overcorrected it some, and maybe I did. And so then you can, well, whatever, right? What do y'all think? Yeah. Okay. Nope, no, wrong way.
So much. Yeah, that's better.
Okay?
Yeah, that's better.
After you've done that, don't spend time, just close it. Okay, that's done. Now, panoramic curve. You need to set a panoramic curve. So you come here, and this opens. Where do you want to be? So there is the crown. That's the wax up. See, there's the wax up with the hole in it. You can see how poor that wax up is. Do you see how the acrylic goes around the contact? So if I look, that's going to give me bad information. It's going to say my tooth's wider than it is. Do you see it? See it here? See how the acrylic goes around the contact? My tooth's not that wide. Okay, but the panoramic curve, where do I want to be? I don't want to be up in the crown. I want to be where the crown's coming out of bone. So the top of the ridge. If I have trouble seeing the nerve, then I'll do a panoramic curve at the nerve level. See the nerve? Isn't that super cool? See, there's the nerve, okay? So I could do a panoramic curve there. And I could do multiple panoramic curves. So I'm going to do a panoramic curve coming out of the bone, like right here, okay? And so I double click to start the panoramic curve. And then one click to start the panoramic curve, and then I single click to set the panoramic curve, and then I double click to stop the panoramic curve. After I do that, it opens. Now look how good we did. You see, this is the panel view. Do you see how my green line, again, that's my knife, and do you see how it's parallel to that tooth? See, we don't want the knife and the tooth like this and the knife coming at it, okay? So we want our knife cutting through the bundt cake, which is the arch, flat, straight, right? Think about cake. Okay, so now this is, see the panoramic curve? What this does is this moves me in and out of the arch. Watch the yellow. Well, it's not moving. But that up there, the yellow should be moving in and out. But you see how I'm coming in the arch and out the arch.
As he's working in this window, it's showing you as it works in other windows.
Yeah,
right?
do you see how the yellow's moving in and out? So here I'm lingual and here I'm buccal. So where I want to be is mid. Right? That's where the implant's going. Okay? So I've got that. Oops, not quite. I've got that in the right position. Now, do you see how this window is aqua? So this window's aqua. This window controls this knife blade. Right? Aqua window controls this knife blade. Yellow window controls that knife blade. Red window controls this knife blade.
And this is set up to that.
Yeah, and this is my panoramic curve, okay? Which has to be mid arch. And then this is just the model down here. Okay, so I've got it set up buccal lingually correct. Let's set it up mesial distally correct. So I'm in the wrong window. I've got to go to the aqua window and bring this back. Now, I don't know why I can't see. Oh, there's my hole. See my hole? Okay. So there's my hole. There's my hole. Now, let's make sure mesial distally, I'm in the center of my hole. Oh, no. See, I'm a little bit mesial. So let's take it just a little bit distal. And, we're talking about little. So there, let's say that's right in the middle. And it's between the two roots. And we're ready. Now, I don't like working on that small. So I come to the window I want bigger. Okay, I'm in the aqua window. See my pointer? And I hit the space bar. I hit the space bar and it makes the window bigger or smaller.
Your cursor has to be there to do that.
My cursor has to be in the window. If it's down here, it's going to make this bigger. If it's over here, it's going to make this bigger. If it's down here, it's going to make this bigger. Isn't that super cool? I mean, it's just amazing. Okay, so it's bigger. Now, look. Okay, I'm jumping ahead. Look, I'll show you everything. Let's mark the nerve. There's the nerve. So we did the panoramic curve. Let's create a nerve. We're adding. It's already highlighted. We come down here where we see it, and we click, and we click, and we click, and we click. Now I don't see it, so I come over here and move this. Oh, I'm off a little bit. We click, and we click, and we click. And we click. Now, we'll fix that in a minute, okay? Now, let's keep scrolling here. There's a little bit anterior loop. Do you see that? But let's bring this up. And let's see. We'll probably find the middle foramen. Right there. And so I can come up here and click and click. Do you see I can even go into different windows and then double click to stop it? There's my nerve. Now, you're like, oh, Dr. Douglas, you really screwed this up. Right where it's important. Okay, fine. Look, I come up here and I pull this up and I pull this up, and again I can make this window bigger, so I can get these. If you think my nerves are in the right place, I'm not going to get anywhere close to it, but I can readjust it. Everybody see that? Now I overdid it, so let's bring it back down.
By just pointing and holding and
Just grab the clicks, grab those little balls and move it down. How amazing is that? Isn't that crazy? Okay, so the nerve's marked. Now we go to the next window. See, I'm going down the thing. Do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm down to 4. Plan implant. Create or change an implant. Hit that. Place an implant. Oh, let's get this window bigger so you can see. There it goes. Okay, now change or create implant. Place implant, and we're going to hold it and scroll over. There's the implant. Double or click to let it go. Now, who knows what that is? That's some generic thing. So double click it, and you'll set up a library of implants. So I already have my library set up. Specify implant, and here's Dentsply, Astra, Osseous EV, which will be renamed. But right now it's OsseoSpeed EV. It'll soon say AstroTech EV, and then I'm going to come down here. That's a molar. So remember, I really like big fixtures for molars. So it's a 4.2. No, that's too small. 3.6 too small. 3 millimeters too. So I want a 4.8 or a 5.4. So we have tons of bone. Let's do a 5.4. So let's do a 5.4 by 9, and I'm going to say what number. This is 19, and hit OK. There it is. So 19's in place. There's my safety zone around the nerve, which is 2 millimeters. Remember, there's a millimeter on the tip of the drill. So this is there's gonna be at the tip of the drill is gonna be a millimeter more here, but I'm still, at least 3 millimeters away from the nerve. And I can bring, let's say, Dr. Ing's like, no, you're too deep. Okay, we can bring it up. Or Dr. Chi says, no, we need more running room. Okay, we can bring it down, right? Whatever. We can make it. Dr. Ing doesn't like the length. Okay, we come here and we change it to an 11. And then we don't like that. We're too close. So we double click it and we can take it back, right, to 9 or 8, whatever you want to do. Okay? And then you get it right. You get it right here and you get it right here. So it looked good there, but I think, so let's bring this window up. Now, move implants. 9, 19, and look, when I come over here, when I'm gone, it's not there. When I come over here, it's here. I've got it set for 1 millimeter steps or 1 degree rotations. So every time I hit this, it's going to move it 1/10 of a millimeter. And I can sit here and move it until I get it to where I want it. Let's say I'm just totally screwed this up and I wanted it 90 degrees. Then instead of sitting there hitting it tons of time, I change this to 90 degree, and I come over here, and it's going to move it 90 degrees, and move it back 90 degrees. Okay? I can increase this to where it's moving in 1 millimeter increments. Everybody get it? That's maybe a little bit much. Let's do 0.5. Okay. What do y'all think? Cool, huh? So, do you like my position? Now, the other thing, when we're doing multiple, which we're not, this is what's super cool. When we're doing smart fix and all locators, all of the implants are lined up here, and I can make them all parallel to one another. I don't have to sit there and do it manually. I can just say, hey, make 22 and 27 parallel. Bang. Make 19 and 30, 17 degrees. Bang. Remember, for smart fix. Okay? So I've got them where I want them, and I come down here. Look what that one is. Order Simplant Guide.
Do you not look at that three-dimensionally first to see where it is in the bone? Like you get what I mean? Like to go around the implant so it's implant-centric view?
Oh, yeah. Let me show you that. I do it sometimes. I don't do it a lot, but I do it. Yeah. So let me show. But Doug's bringing up a great point. Thanks, Doug, for reminding
me. It just allows you to see that you're in bone everywhere, right?
Yeah.
That's
but see, what I'm looking at is here. Am I in bone? Am I here in bone? Am I here? Right. But this is super cool because I did a panoramic curve. I come up to this window, make it bigger, and I come here and I go view implant centric. Who's a dancer here? Females, girls. You're a dancer? Okay. Ballerina or
tap.
Okay, tap. But you still go in circles, right? What's that, a pirouette?
Turn.
Swirling dervish.
And nobody's a ballerina?
It's a pirouette.
Pirouette, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to pirouette around this implant. So boys, you're fixing to be ballerinas, okay? So we've got an implant centric, and watch what happens as we move around the implant. We're pirouetting around the fixture, making sure that it's in bone all the way around.
And you're still in plan implants, right?
I'm in plan implants, yeah. Do you see? Do you see how we do it? And let's say somebody says, oh, you're a little bit shallow some places. Then I can come in here and move implants, and I can, increase the depth. And then we can pirouette a little around.
Where that becomes important is, like, let's say he's had 4 implants, he said parallel implants. What happens is if you parallel all those, they move, right? And if you don't come back and look at them individually, you might be out of bone and have a dehiscence or some kind of fenestration.
It could be sticking out
you
the
don't
link.
know.
Yeah.
So it's nice to take each
Could
one
be in the
individually,
sinus. Yeah.
Right? So that's why I said that.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's a great tool. It's very unique. Not most systems you can't do it. Okay, that's great.
Can you show us how to put a crown on, like on top of that implant?
Yes. So, okay. So, we're in plan implants. We're in plan implants. Okay, and I double click the implant. Over here, if I was going to do a fixation screw, like if this is a bone guide and I was going to do the bone screws, this is where I do fixation screw. Do you see up here? Look up here. See, we're just an implant, but look at abutment. I can do an abutment, and I can do realistic abutment or predefined abutment, okay? And I can come in here, what do you want? And I can do,
Custom.
you know, standard, but what I want is realistic, okay? So we're gonna specify, and we're gonna move, see the abutments? Tie design or uni abutment. There's two pre-made abutments that we could use to put on top of that.
Do you need to choose one of those to do just a generic crown on it?
I don't know. I always do. I don't know if I have to.
Just curious.
Okay, so here are all the different abutments that you can pick from. Let's see, the Astra ones. Angled, multi-base temp. There's temp abutments, tie design, uni abutment. So that would be the tie design. That didn't work. So I can tell it what all that I want.
Well, now it's put on a multi-unit abutment.
Yeah,
Custom.
I picked the wrong one. But that's not right. Hold on. So standard. Okay, well, I can figure that. But anyway, so now we come back here and we see the restorative. There's the restorative, okay? Dimension parameters. So what transition angle do you want? Buckle level, cantilever, crown height, tissue depth, and it explains it all, right? So you have to sit here and put this in, okay? But that's how you do it. Put your restorative on. And then you can look at forces, force vector properties, density. This is looking at Hounsfield units, so I can look at the density of the bone. If you didn't, you may not have noticed, but I can also do that. Do you see my cursor? Look at the bottom of the screen. That is how down here. This is Hounsfield units. Now, the research says it's not exact, but it gives you a rough estimate. So, do you see it say D4? That means it's poor quality bone. See, that's grafted bone. This is probably really poor down here. Yeah. See, look at that. 51 Hounsfield units. So if we get here, we'll have D1 bone. D3 actually. None of it's very good bone. But do you see how we're looking at bone density?
Mm-hmm.
But again, the research shows it doesn't. It's really not. It's just a helpful tool. Okay. Implant relations calculator. This is important when we're doing more than one. It's not very important here. And then order Simplant guide. And this is how we'd order it. We would go to order Simplant guide now. Oh, sorry. That's after it's already in the basket. See the little basket? So we go to request Simplant guide. Now, your prosthetics is not ordering drills, correct? So, prosthetics, some prosthetics are ordering the guides. Is y'all's ordering the guides?
No.
Okay.
So far.
Okay. So, then you could probably order your drills at the same time. What I was going to say is, if prosthetics is ordering your guides, don't order the drills through there. But if you're ordering your own guides, then just order the drills at the same time. So look here, y'all. What kind of guide do we want? We want tooth, of course. Tooth guide. Do we want? These are the different types of guide. Pilot guide, Simplant universal guide. Oh.
Please.
Do y'all see? What kind of guide do you want? Safe. Simplant safe guide. That's the one that they're tubes and sleeves, and it holds the surgeon in every direction. It's not a choice. Why? Because you can't do 5.4 fixtures on a safe guide, because it's too the fixtures are too big. They can't make the right now.
Tubes are too small, too big.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
they can't make it. But that's changing. But we don't know exactly when. But right now you can't do 5.4. Okay, so we have to change it to.
So let's just pretend you wanted to place a 5.4 and you wanted to do it all guided. You could do that. Choose a 4.8 implant, knowing you have enough room. Use all of the drills for a 4.8. Freehand the final drill.